After I do, after I do.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully we are live and hopefully I don't see the title, but hopefully it's up there.
Well, let me look on my phone.
It cannot hurt for you to do that.
Let's stay a couple of seconds so I can get a thumbnail. Look at me. Okay, that'll be great. Ooh.
All right, everybody, come on in. Hey, what's happening, Renee? I knew Renee would be here. Maybe Renee, you could tell me if you see it. What up, Melissa? Everybody, come on in. What up, Denise? Roseboro. Roseburrows are well represented. Let's talk it out. Okay, great.
Got it.
Great. Always good when it is the way it's supposed to be. Thank you, Renee. Tamanika. Welcome. Hey, Camille. There's everybody's pulling up. Hope everybody's having a wonderful Sunday, that you are all kind of using the weekend to kind of rest and reset, so that the top of your week is full of focus and clarity.
Yes, Pastor Watkins. Say that.
Focus, clarity.
FC. What was that one?
To rest and reset. Get you some good old sleep.
RRFC.
What's happening? Road to Stardom. No working, Kiki B 1978. No working. Well, on the weekends, there's always work to be done. I think you just have to make a choice about,
There is work always to be done.
Work what you want to get, what you want to do, period. How you want to use your time.
If you're an entrepreneur working for yourself, you work 7 days a week.
Melissa says she was waiting for you or looking for you for your morning stretch this week.
I know.
Yes, we will be skating tonight.
Here's the thing. Remember I said if I don't come on to stretch. I'm an entrepreneur and I'm really working on my product, and I get up, I stretch, and I hit the, I need to wake up earlier because the people I need to talk to are on the East Coast. So I'm already 3 hours behind. When I wake up at 8, it's 11. So I'm always playing catch up. So maybe we need to stretch at night. I don't know. But in the morning, I don't have time to, because once I do that, I stay on for an hour. Then I want to walk. That's 2 hours. Like, I cannot afford it anymore. And it's like, I got to stop playing right now. Playtime is over. It's been 8-9 months. Playtime is over. I'll cook with you guys. But in that morning, because everything is in a different time zone, I have to get up and I got to get these people on the phone. I got to answer these emails and I have to make calls. So I apologize. Like, my intentions were good until we are on a deadline. That's what's going on. Making changes. Got to fix my label. Am I going to make this run? If not, now I'm not being shipped out until maybe January. I'm so frustrated, but I'm holding it all in.
Oh, Melissa, were you saying she needs to wake up with me early in the morning because I wake up so early? That's just my thing. I don't know. There's something, I don't know whether it's a military thing or whatever, what it is, but I don't have a good time with just lying in the bed in the morning. I got to get up and get at it.
Well, you go to bed 2 to 3 hours before me. Royale is in bed by 9. I don't go to bed. I've been trying to get into bed early. Like last night, I went really late. That's a lie. Last night, I went really late. But I'm acting like this is the weekend, like I'm going out to work. I went really late, but I was working. I was literally working. So he gets a 3-hour jump on me. And then he's up by 6, right? You get up at 6, sometimes 5:30. He's up. And that's my goal. Like, I want to get up that time as well so I can be up and do what I need to do. And I think I'm inching towards that. But I also like some downtime. Like, after everything is closed, it's kind of like when the stock market closes on the East Coast, it's like, ooh, you can relax. But I do a little bit of work, but I like to watch TV as well. So I have to find some balance in there and get to bed by 11. If I'm in bed by 11, I can wake up by 7, and I think that's great time. That's a good time, amount of sleep.
Yeah, I think what's important is that everybody get proper rest, period. As long as you're well rested, then that's all that matters at the end of the day. Some people can do it on 4 hours of sleep. Some people need 8, 9, 10 hours of sleep.
You could do anything on that amount of sleep, but it's not healthy. You know, it's just not healthy. You're supposed to get 7 hours of sleep or more. I think they even pushed it back to 6, but if you're going to bed at 3 and up at 7, you're not getting enough rest. And I'm not a napper. I have to be really tired to go take a nap. So I just find myself, I say that every day, oh, I'm going to take a nap. I just can't. I have too much to do. I have a lot to do. So that's where we are.
All right, so let's get into the show. As April and I are moving to, be a little more, what's the word, more consistent with the online stuff. Obviously, we're over here now on the IG page trying to grow this page, so you should tell your friends about it. The title of this live is Let's Talk It Out. And so one of the things I know in the past we had shared with you all, with the family, is that sometimes we get into these spaces of funk, if you will, in our relationships, and it's easy to disconnect, to go to your neutral corner. I typically am quiet. That's my default is.
Oh, I'm sorry, love. She said I spent 5 minutes looking for us. Did you say after I do TV?
I said on after I do TV.
Oh, okay.
So, typically my default is to go to the neutral corner and just be quiet. Because if we have a disagreement, that's the easier thing for me to do. So I thought what might have value in this situation is just to actually take the situation to IG Live and for us to talk it out. So again, listen to the story. Feel free to weigh in. April and I will respond as we, as we move through the story. But again, I'm not in a space where I need to be right or wrong anymore. I'm just in a space where there's more value in having the conversation and getting past the conversation. So April and I ordered a new front door. April and I went and to the store together. April was very passionate about getting this new front door. So for the most part, and you can feel free to weigh in at any time if you feel like any of the information I'm sharing is not correct.
Okay.
So we went to the store together. I typically let April take the lead in these things because, again, it's what she wants for the most part. Unless I feel very strongly about it, then I'll weigh in. But for the purpose of this conversation, we got to a place where, right, we're moving from double doors. We have 2 front doors that open, blah, 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 to a single door with side panels, right? So now we have 1 front door that has 2 side panels. There was a part of me that saw some stuff, it takes forever when you're married or in a relationship to agree on the version of the thing you want. And, for good reason. Sometimes it takes a minute for both people to feel good about the thing that you're paying for, especially when y'all saw what we went through with the bed. It's just like going back and forth. We actually ordered a bed,
God.
Sent the bed back, and just like ultimately we found a bed that we both enjoyed, but now we're in another space where April wants the bed to sit up. I want the bed to lie flat so that I can go to sleep because that's where I'm more comfortable. So again, it just seems like it never ends. There's always
Never
going
ends.
to be something. But let's get back to the door. So there was a part of me that wanted windows, side panel windows, all the way up and down the door. Right? I like light. I don't know why it is in our culture, in a lot of African American communities. Right? You go to people's front doors and everything is just like blocked off. Right? You can't see in. And you go in some other neighborhoods and there's no curtains. At night, there's light. You can see into the house. It's just, it's a better aesthetic. To me, it's more aesthetically pleasing. Now, I will say, April and I are very fortunate. We live in a neighborhood that we don't have a lot of issues with security here. Mm-hmm. So we don't have to have one of those graded front door gates before you get to the front door. That's, it's just, I understand people need the level of security that they need. We just are not in that kind of neighborhood. So we can enjoy a front door that's pleasing to the eye, that has glass, blah, 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 blah. So we finally land on the door. Side panels have glass, blah, blah, blah.
Months.
We went back and forth, about whether it was a left swing door or right swing door, and trying to understand, because again, you spending thousands of dollars on a door, you want to get it right. So we spent time with the salesperson. Left swing door it is, right? And now we got the door, and it was like, shit, did we order the right thing? Does it need to be a left-hand swing door, or should it have been a right swing door? It actually is not the wrong way.
You sure?
I'm 100% sure. If you look at it, when somebody comes to that door, the door should open this way. We should open the door this way, and people should enter our house. That door shouldn't open as a single door.
I'm still confused.
So, all of that said, we placed the order for the door. Gentleman Sebastian was the salesperson. April and I was there together. April told Sebastian at least a couple of times that she wanted brushed nickel for the hardware for the door.
Satin nickel.
I'm sorry, satin nickel. It's brushed bronze, satin nickel.
Uh-huh.
She told Sebastian, satin nickel is what I want. April went down there to look at the locks, came back, satin nickel, satin nickel, satin nickel. Now, again, I heard her say satin nickel. I honestly was like, okay, I need to be educated on what satin nickel is, because, right, there's so many different finishes. There's got to be at least 8 different finishes for hardware for doors, knobs, hinges, the what's it called, the thing at the bottom?
Threshold.
The threshold. So, I can't say long story short because there's way more to the story. So, we ordered the door. We placed the order, but we hadn't paid for it. So, it was on me to pay for the door. So, I'm like, I'm not going to play around with it. Let me just go pay for it. Went, paid for the door a couple of days later, just so that we were not in a space where we were in a holding pattern, or I was trying to evidence to April that, the door is paid for. So I give her the receipt. Now she got the receipt. It's done. Now the thing that we were going back and forth on was who's going to do the install. Now, we had a gentleman that... Are you correcting any information?
You just left some stuff out.
Go, feel free.
So when he got the door, I asked him, because
when I got the door?
No, when you went to pay for the door, I said, what did he say about the hardware? So
no, when did you say that?
Babe, that's the only thing I kept asking you, the hinges and the threshold. I said, that has to be satin. But
you told me we were supposed to go pick out the hardware.
Because that's what Sebastian said
okay,
initially.
But you just said something different.
No, he said that initially. But I didn't know when you went to pay for it, that's probably when you were supposed to say. But I thought he knew. You understand what I'm saying?
But didn't you tell him when we were putting the door together?
I did. But the issue is, so all of that is correct. I think the issue is when he went to pay for it, he didn't ask just one question. What color is the hardware? That is the hinges and the threshold. That's it. And that's where everything is lost in translation. Because when he came home and I said, what about the hardware? He's like, oh, the lock. Like, I think he thinks I'm talking about the lock. I'm not talking about the lock. The door comes with the hinges and the threshold. So keep going. Now go ahead. I had to give him that part.
You can give him that part, but when I came home, you didn't say what about the hinges and the...
Babe, that's...
It was clear that you told me we were supposed to go to Home Depot and pick out the hardware. So now, you're now adding this component of when I went to pay for the door, I was supposed to ask Sebastian again, well, it
wasn't Sebastian.
What? Okay. I was supposed to... Let's keep going first. So, I paid for the door. Right? That's the part you need to know right now. I paid for the door. I give April the receipt, the evidence, hey, your door's paid for. I think I'm doing like the most amazing thing in the universe. Ain't no waiting around. I went, took my card, it's paid for, whoop, whoop, whoop. Now, the only thing that's on the table is a question about who's going to do the install. Because the store offers their third-party installers, but April had a relationship with somebody that she worked with who did our shelving.
Mm-hmm.
He was supposed to do the door from top to bottom.
Top to bottom.
I'm sure April shared with y'all, we had a conversation with him. We thought that based on that conversation that there was some political issue between us, or it was the conversation turned political, and because of that, we thought that there was an issue between us because of that conversation. Turns out that's not the case.
Mm-mm.
I was trying to reach him. He didn't get my messages. And so it put us in a space where we were like, well, if he's not going to do it, we got to move on. So long story short, we ended up going to order the door and thinking that now we have to use their service for the installer. So the install needed to be paid for. I went back, paid for the install, and now I brought that receipt back to April. Hey, guess what? Now your install is paid for. So the door was supposed to be delivered on December the 11th. We ordered the door on, I believe, October the 23rd. I'm sorry, October, November.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's fine. November the 23rd. Sorry.
They got this door quick.
The door came in like 2 weeks later.
They told us 5 weeks.
They told us 5 weeks or whatever. The door was ready in 2 weeks. I'm going out on my morning run. It's 7:47 a.m. My phone is ringing. I'm like, I don't know who this is. I just happened to pick up. And the guy's like, oh, we're 15 minutes away. You calling me with a 15-minute warning to deliver a door 3 weeks ahead of schedule?
3 weeks.
But I said, you know what? The guy said, oh, I could take it to Home Depot. But I was like, nah, you know what? Let me just take delivery of the door and start figuring out, because we know we needed to have the door painted. So I was like, I'll work on those things while at the same time making arrangements to have the door installed. So that's all of the setup. Y'all got that? I know, Nisa, you coming in late. Lane, you coming in late. But y'all go back and look at the top of this because you need to know the setup. So now we're at the point where we have to go pick out the what?
Paint.
No.
Oh, no.
You're right.
The lock. The lock.
But also the what? But not the lock, the
hardware.
The hardware. Yes.
But
No. Let me finish. Babe, let's go pick out paint. We want to paint the door black, but we need to also take a look at the hardware.
Right.
Cool. Which is supposed to be satin nickel.
Right.
Correct.
Lock.
So now we go to look at the door and realize that, wait, the threshold on the door and the hinges are not satin nickel. They are brushed bronze. That's not what we ordered.
But we don't know this until we get back to Home Depot, because we're just what were you asking her?
I was asking her if the hardware was... we were trying to get some clarity on whether the door was supposed to be delivered primed, because we were having it painted.
That's the only thing we went. It had nothing to do with the hardware.
No, it had nothing to do with the hardware.
We had no idea.
Correct.
Because I'm thinking the hardware is the hinges and the threshold is satin nickel, like I asked. So
okay,
go ahead.
So we go in and we're trying to get information about whether the door, because April told me the door was supposed to already be primed. So I'm like, well, let's go.
But I'm only saying that because Sebastian asked, do you want it primed? We said
but that doesn't,
yes.
Listen, hold on. You told me the door was supposed to be primed, correct? Yes or no?
We were sitting there.
It's a yes or no question.
Yes.
Okay. So the reason we went to the store was to confirm that this door, which was delivered not primed, was supposed to be delivered primed. Yes
But why do you keep saying, because April said, no,
I'm trying to give them the facts. I'm just trying to give them the facts so that people understand.
But okay, so the facts are, we sat down there together. We talked. Sebastian talked to both of us. He makes it seem like I was in the cubby by myself. We're both hearing the same information. This is where I feel like husbands get lost or significant others get lost in translation. We are listening. They are just listening. So I'm trying to get all the details. I want satin nickel. I said that. And then he asked, we asked, does the door come primed? He's like, no. He said, but for an extra fee, you can get the door primed. Sign us up. Prime it there so we don't have to prime it when we get home. That's how the conversation went. You were there.
None of that matters. That's not in question. What I'm saying is when we were leaving the house, what you told me, the door was supposed to be primed, so that's the reason we were going to the store that day.
But
yes or no? Yes or no? Just answer the question, yes or no.
That's not fair.
Yes or no? It is the reason, correct?
It is the reason.
Okay, so let me finish the story.
But the thing is, then why
I'm
aren't
only
you
trying
triggered?
to give them the information about why you corrected me saying we weren't going to the store for the hardware, so I'm only confirming what you just said. You told me this door was supposed to be primed. Now we're going to the store to look at two things: paint.
Okay.
And
you gotta stop. Why do I need to tell you the door is supposed to be primed when we sat there together?
Because I didn't remember whether the door was supposed to be primed or not.
Exactly.
Okay.
You weren't listening. That's the point I'm getting at. Because I said the door's supposed to be primed. We sat there and said, we'll take the extra charge.
Do you remember everything that we get ordered? Like when we go places as a couple, do you remember everything that somebody says to us as a couple?
Here or there,
That's the point I'm making. Like that, what you're saying doesn't make a difference. What I'm talking about is leaving the house. We were leaving the house because you reminded me that the door was supposed to be primed, and I didn't know. So I'm like, okay, well, let's
never know. That's half the problem. But go ahead, finish your story, because you don't know.
Okay. What point? Why are you interrupting me getting the information out? For what's the value of that?
Because if we're talking it out, then the issue is when we're doing stuff.
Well, why don't you let me get to that point? I'm trying to give them the story first.
Okay, go ahead.
So again, as she reminded me, we were going to the store because the door was supposed to be primed. We also needed to pick out paint. So I go and get the receipts. I have the receipts at my office. Like, okay, cool. I'll go get the receipts. Go to the store. I asked them to look up the information. Now, I know I got the receipts in my pocket, but I'm like, let them look up the information first. And so I want to see what information is in their system. So when they started looking it up, then we came to the realization, because she said, didn't she tell us that, the hinges are this and the threshold is that? So that's when it became an issue. Like, wait a minute, it's not supposed to be that. We ordered satin nickel.
Right.
So now, okay, you ordered satin nickel, right? It's clearly brushed bronze. It needs to be addressed. It needs to be changed. Okay, cool. We got the door being painted tomorrow or Monday, so as quickly as we can have this resolved, right, then we can have the door installed. She's like, don't have the door installed, and we'll order the parts, and they will come and change the threshold and the hinges out. Right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so now that's what we're dealing with, and we go to leave the store, and when we're leaving the store, I forgot a piece of the setup.
I don't know which one.
No, I'm going to come back to this. But on the way in the store, this is important. It's a beautiful day. I'm like, we get out of the car. I told April, let me see what it felt like to hold your hand. I want to see what it felt like to be a couple again. All right, so I'm
That's where
it
went wrong right there.
I was like, I'm just in a good mood. I'm like, we're going to pick out the stuff she wants, and it's nice outside today. Holding her. I was like, yeah, this feels right. We're joking. Now, so I forgot to tell y'all that as a part of the setup.
Came out. Go ahead.
So now, we go through all of that. We realize the threshold is wrong. It needs to be ordered. Whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. We're leaving the store, and April says to me, I'm annoyed with you.
I said, I'm a little annoyed with you.
You said, I'm annoyed with you.
I said, a little.
Okay. A little or a lot. You're annoyed with me.
First of all, I can't say stuff like that to him because he takes it like I would have just gotten over it. But here we go. Here we are.
But my thing is, why were you annoyed with me?
Babe, somebody even said it. I have to explain that point because you're putting me on the spot. And here's the thing. We may not we may not agree on it, but here's my outlook of it, on it. We were both there. We were both left, right, handle, entryway, right. I don't know. I'm like, I want to walk in this way. So it looks like we're walking in this way because left swing to me.
You explained to him what you wanted, and he said left hand swing, and you said you agreed to it. We both looked at it like, because we talked about
how you remember that, but you can't remember satin nickel, and you can't remember anything else.
Yes, I remember satin. Look, what are you talking about? You saying, why are you saying
no,
I don't
prime.
remember?
No. You don't remember the prime. So you do
I didn't
remember.
care about whether the door was primed or not.
It was an extra fee. You should care. I said, yes, do it. So I don't. Left, right. I
just laugh at this. Renee said a little annoyed or annoyed. You was annoyed. You was still annoyed.
I said, but
so
I was
that's what
joking.
I'm saying. No, you were not joking. Don't even.
Would you calm down?
No, how you gonna say you was joking? You clearly
no, I'm
wasn't
saying
joking.
I was laughing. I said to you, I'm a little annoyed. Smiling face, and I just was, and I told him all he had to say was like, why? He went crazy, and I said, and it just went left because what I was gonna say, babe. If it were me paying for a door for that amount of money, the April that is me would have said, because the guy, another point, the guy that took the order, we went painstakingly left, right, blah, 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 2-3 weeks with him. He done relocated. He's no longer at the store. He's like, oh, this is my last day. When he said that, I was like upset because I knew the next time we come back, we'd have to be with someone else. So now this young girl. So Royale went to the young girl who took his place and placed the order and paid for it.
The young girl?
She's
probably the same age as Sebastian.
Well, she just looks young to me. So I said to him, one, new person, two, it's an expensive door. I would have said, can we go over the order to make sure, we have everything right? That's what I said. Because the changing of the guards changed everything. And I would have taken
How did it change everything?
The satin nickel wasn't satin nickel, it was brushed.
Okay.
And she would have
what
read,
else?
She would have read back
What
to
else?
you.
You said everything. What else? You putting mustard on a hot dog that don't.
The prime. The two things is the door, the prime, and the hardware. So not the door. Hey,
well, first of all, the lady said they don't prime doors.
Well,
Kim said they don't prime doors.
Her name is Kim. But he did say it. He did say it. I think what happened was when we came home, we wanted one door. That was a different man. He gave us 2 different manufacturers for the door. I think one door would have, I don't know why we didn't go with that. He gave us 2 prices. Remember that 2 prices? It was 2 different, American something something and something something something. And so we went, I don't know why we chose this one. Maybe it was the delivery date or he said something couldn't be done or I don't know. But we went with the other one. So all of that involved, I would have said, okay, this is what I ordered. Can you make sure? Is the door primed and is it satin nickel hinges and the threshold? That's what I would have done. Yeah, that's right. Because he felt like he was the man paying for everything. Probably didn't want to hear that. I don't know if he didn't want to hear it.
It certainly is not about me not wanting to hear it.
I think what it boils down to, and his whole tone is like, I paid for it. I went and did the thing to make you happy.
Whoa. Don't say I paid for it like I made the argument to like my money was
that you took the initiative to go down there. And that's great. But you never once said, babe, do you want me to come with you? He didn't ask me. He just, because he is the man of the house, and I get it. He wants to please me. He wants to make sure I did it. I paid for it. But it's not,
if that was the case, when you got that receipt, did you ask me, did you double check with them to make sure it was satin nickel? If that was super important
I asked you, I said, what about the hardware?
And
I asked you
yes,
that.
and didn't you tell me? We had that conversation, and you were the one who was reinforcing to me that because hardware was paid for and that we were supposed to go together to pick it out.
Because you had no idea. I said, okay, maybe because you didn't come back with an answer, I said, well, maybe it was so many parts of the story. Maybe that is the second part to this. And even when you pay for the install, I said, did you check on the hardware? It was like, I think, to be honest, I think the hardware, he probably thought I meant the lock. I'm talking about the hardware for the actual door, which is the hinges and the threshold. There's a metal piece that goes across the bottom, and the hinges have to match because we are going from, we already have bronze that, brushed bronze. Now we're going to a sleek black door with sleek silver hardware. So we're doing satin nickel. The hinges have to match, So there we are, and it just didn't go good. We went in holding hands.
No, again,
not talking.
Here's the thing.
Not talking.
You are down. You said to me, I'm annoyed with you. I don't remember you saying I'm a little annoyed with you or whatever.
Said little.
Okay, even if you're a little.
I'm annoyed.
Listen,
let's take that out.
A little annoyed, big annoyed, medium
better?
size annoyed.
Okay.
You're annoyed with me.
So I was big mad.
My thing was, why are you annoyed with me? You should be annoyed with Sebastian because he was the one.
That's it.
He was the one that took your order and then did not place the order for what you asked for. Now, you're taking your frustration with that situation.
What do you mean he took my order?
Didn't you?
Whose order was it?
Oh, our order. Our order. Your order, our order.
That's the shit that's pissing me off because you act like
He took our order. Okay.
Well, say that. If
Okay.
he took our order, then you should know what we
It don't
ordered.
that's not important.
Yeah, just like little and annoyed don't matter. Right, that's not important. It is important.
Listen,
That is
he
a
took
huge part.
our order.
Correct. And you don't have a clue what
So
we
listen,
ordered.
here's the thing. Correctly.
Correctly.
Correct. Shelly or Shell. Sebastian did not place the order correctly. So now April's frustrated and needs to just take that energy and place it on somebody. And guess who she's going to put it on? Me. So I felt like, oh, that's so unfair. Why would you do that to me? You can say, I'm annoyed, right? I'm upset with how this took place. But why are you now going to transfer that energy to me?
As soon as I said I was annoyed, you blacked out. There was no conversation. You didn't even, I can't even be honest to know what I would have said next because I only responded to your response of me saying,
Scott, you know exactly.
I'm a little annoyed.
You know what? Can we, I got to bring a couple of y'all on, because somebody has to help me understand.
It's not pointing the finger. It is exactly what I said.
If we can bring you on, if you have a response to this, let us know, say, add me, and I want to hear from at least 2 or 3 people to hear your response to this situation. Yes, so if you have an opinion, if you want us to add you, just say add me, and I'm gonna bring on at least 2 or 3 people. And I just want to hear. I want to hear you all's reaction to this based on the details that were shared.
It could be Sebastian. That's neither here nor there. The point is, when you went to pay for it, I would have asked, what is in this order that I'm spending all this goddamn money on? That's the issue. Because I wouldn't have. That's like ordering floors. You want to make sure, did you get the oak? Did you get this? What? How many square? Like, let's go over this order.
So
that's
here's
just
the thing.
me.
So here's the thing.
Just me.
You see how you just pointed to the order and not your response to the order being wrong? You see how you just pointed to the order and not your response to the order being wrong. And that's where I think the issue is for me, right? Now what you're saying is you're counting on me to have the same state of mind that you personally have when I go to do things, and I don't think that's fair. You don't do things the way I do things, and I don't do things the way you do things all the time.
Okay.
So, that being said, if we're leaving the store and I know that we had an issue with the way the order went down, and on our way out, you're now pointing the finger at me as being the culprit of why everything is wrong.
I wasn't even mad, Royale. You
weren't mad. You were annoyed.
I was just like, I wanted to just say, hey, babe, I told you when we went to the next hardware store afterwards, I said, if you would have said, you have a point, or next time duly noted.
No, wait, you have a point to be annoyed? You have a right to be annoyed with me in this situation? Why would I take that?
You're not listening. I was going to tell you that in the future, when you're placing an order, you should double check it. I never got to say that because it's not my fault. I didn't place an order. You said Prime. You went crazy.
Well, why didn't you just say, why didn't you start with that?
Because I don't know why I didn't start with that. That's what came to my mouth. I said, I'm a little annoyed. And I contemplated on those words from the back of the store to the front. But I thought in my heart that he would be like, what happened? Or like, why you say that? And then I would have said, I would have checked the order. And maybe he would have said, you got a point. And we would have walked the fuck out. But not you. You went on the defensive. It's not my fault. I paid for the thing. I did the thing. It was all the things that you did. And it's rework because you didn't check. But I wouldn't have went there. The only reason I went from 0 to 100 is because you went to 0 to 100. That wasn't even on my mind. Slightly. At this point, Melissa, no matter what I said, I wasn't gung-ho. I wasn't 100% happy about this situation. There's nothing I should have said. I shouldn't have said anything. And then that's my point to him. As a wife, am I supposed to keep that bottled in and be mad walking around the house knowing that we got to wait another extra week or two because now we got to order this satin nickel? We can't even put the door in. The door going to be right here in the living room for the next probably week until we get the hinges and the threshold. So that's the issue. So I feel like moving forward, and I told him, I'll just keep it to myself. And then somebody said, I keep it to myself until I explode. Right. So imagine me keeping that to myself in that moment, and then a week later he does something where we're really having an argument. Then I would have piggybacked on, and by the way, da-da-da. Why are you bringing up old stuff? So I tried to bring it up in the moment because I thought we were going to be good and just walk away. But nope, and we're still talking about it. Right, I can't say, but you still got to talk about it. You don't have to be calm, but you can listen. If Royale would have said, April, next time can you check? I would have been, you're right. I still would have been mad, but you got a point. I didn't do my due diligence. That's it. And that's all I'm trying to say. But he wants to bring up everything else that he did, and it's all great and fine. We still don't have the right shit, and we got to wait another week or so. So the bottom line, it was in vain because nothing has been solved. He's still mad. I'm mad.
I'm not mad.
The door is painted. It looks beautiful. We could have had the door in on Tuesday. But now we can't. So, and I'm okay with that.
But listen,
I'm over it.
and we still have the door before the date that it was supposed to be delivered. So what's the big deal?
It's not a big deal.
It was a big deal to you.
I just don't. When we talked to the guy that we thought was going to do it, he got me a little nervous too because he was like, April, that door shouldn't be sitting outside. It may swell up. It may do whatever because one, it's not primed. Two, the dew does fall. If you go out there in a little bit, it'll be a nice mist on the grass because it's falling. So we have a brand new expensive ass door on the side of the house. And he was concerned. Now he's giving us tips. Don't keep the door out there. So thankfully, it's primed, it's painted, it's outside. I think the guys, they're working on it right now. As soon as they're done, they're going to have to bring it in here. And it'll just sit. It's fine. You're right. It's three weeks ahead of time. And this is where we are. I'm okay. But I just, you can never really kind of judge how the conversation is going to go. And you think I want to be in this position? Like, had I known it would have resulted into this, I would have shut my mouth.
See, again, I think you're still missing the point.
The pound cake was good. It's like this much left. Did you pay the extra fee? So it's when we went and they looked at our receipt and everything, they did not charge us for priming because this company did not offer priming. We had 2 receipts when we left, or 2 quotes. One door was one price and the other door was another price. So I'm thinking we got the latter of them based on availability of the door and delivery versus the other company. The other company, I believe, was going to take too long. And maybe they didn't have the door in because of COVID. There were so many layers to this door. A lot. Where, a lot got lost in translation. I get it. But I wouldn't have even opened my mouth. But again, and
it's
y'all
not about whether you should have opened your mouth or not.
Exactly. That's what I'm about to say.
You should feel free to have the conversation.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to get at. I'm asking them, as wife or the husband, do you, for the sake of having this happen over a goddamn door, do you let that just slide? It's not that big of a deal. Again, I did not know it was going to blow up the way it did because, again, we were having a great day. It was his birthday weekend. I baked him a cake. We were in a good space. And then this door thing, but it could be anything. It could be the kids. It could be a car. It could be, you just have to know how to get into these.
I mean, Love Angel seems to get it, and you still, again, it's just your choice of words. If you say, hey, babe, we need to talk about the door, listen. You can say what you want, but if you hey babe me, you have my complete attention. And see, what's that supposed to mean?
Okay, I'll say hey babe. I'm a little annoyed.
With who?
You.
See, that's problematic. Why are you annoyed with me? Based on the facts that we just presented, do you all think that April has a right to be annoyed with me under those circumstances?
We have, it's corrected. Well, we'll know tomorrow. She'll have to call the company to see if they can get the
threshold and the hinges
to us. I guess they have to mail them. I don't know.
They'll deliver them?
Yeah, deliver them here. That's what I'm saying. They may go out FedEx. I don't know. It's not that long. It's like 40 inches. So we'll see. Yeah, it's rectified per se. We just have to figure out when we can get it. It's not a door. It's just a piece of metal and some hinges. So hopefully, it won't be 2 to 3 weeks for that. Oh, Renee. Did Renee just come on Roseboro?
No, she's been here. She's like, like you have to again look at.
I didn't know
the situation or the salesperson, but not him. That was my only thing. Is like, don't be annoyed with me. But she clearly was annoyed with me in that moment. And so I just feel like you needed someone to place that energy on or to hold responsible.
But I wasn't even mad. I'm still not mad over it. It is what it is. I'm not mad at it. I was never mad. It wasn't anything to be mad over.
But here's the thing.
I was just saying.
But again, when you tell somebody that, if I say to you, April, I'm annoyed with you, what is the first thing you're gonna think?
I'm gonna be like, well, what did I do?
No, but what are you gonna think? Right? Right. What did you do? You're gonna say, I must have done something wrong. Right? Isn't that a natural instinct? If you tell someone you're annoyed with them, for that person to feel like they did something wrong.
There's so many. I'm annoyed at you so much. I'm annoyed sometimes because something in the kitchen or the laundry. It's not. Every annoyance is not the end of the world, knock down, drag out argument. Annoyance is not the same, in my opinion, as we're mad at each other and I'm not going to speak to you. I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed all day. I'm annoyed at Royce. I'm annoyed at Ross. I'm annoyed that you don't tell him to take out the garbage. I'm annoyed. I feel like you just made the word annoyed bigger than what my true feelings were. Like I was, It was none of that. It was none of that. We were walking out and I said, April, should you say these words? And I said, I'm a little annoyed at you. What? That's exactly how. And
I
then
think you
I
put
just shut down.
You putting mustard on this ketchup for
I
sure.
shut
Like
down. I was
you didn't
like,
want. Oh, I'm a little annoyed at you with a
babe,
smile on your face.
I remember going like this because I was like contemplating, should I tell him or say anything? But in this situation, it's damned if you do, and damned if you don't.
Okay,
So
well,
I'll just have to.
That's why we're talking it out.
Case by case.
That's why we're talking it out.
And
but here's the other thing. Go ahead.
No.
Don't lose your thought.
Oh my God.
Don't lose your thought. It's right
I said, can I tell you something and you not get upset?
What?
I didn't say that?
No.
Oh my God.
Listen. The first thing you said to me walking out of the store was, "I'm annoyed with you," and that's what I was
babe,
like. Oh,
I know.
No.
I
This
think
ain't
I
gonna go down
prefaced
like
by
this today.
saying I don't want you to get upset. Can I say something?
No, you did not.
Okay.
You absolutely did not.
Because I always here lately. That's what I say. Because he's so. I mean, any little thing you say.
Now magically you remember that's how you teed it
Well,
up.
here's the thing. April is supposed, I'm talking third party. Yeah, I'm supposed to tee it up like that because you are so, I don't want to say sensitive, but I can't
Yes, I am
say
sensitive.
anything.
I take what you say to me very personally.
Yes.
And that's the problem. Is like I have to stop taking everything that you say to me personally. You know why? Because a lot of that stuff has nothing to do with me. This is mostly a situation that I think had everything to do with you not getting what you wanted in the moment.
Okay.
And that had nothing to
I'll
do
just
with
take
me.
it. You're right. You're right. Because
Okay.
you just want me to be I wanted what I want when I want it, and that's not it. I wanted you.
How is that your takeaway from that?
Because you're saying
I
that,
just said it ain't had nothing to do with me. How's that your takeaway from
because
what I just said?
you just said you didn't get what you wanted in that moment.
Didn't you want satin nickel threshold and satin nickel hinges?
But babe,
Is that not what you wanted?
Yes.
And did you get it?
No.
Okay, so how is that? Am I saying anything that's wrong? You wanted what you wanted in that moment, which is satin
But
nickel
it's
hinges
not
and a satin
like I
nickel
was
threshold,
like
and you
laying
didn't
on the
get
ground,
it.
beating and
my
crying.
God.
It
Now
was-
that's your interpretation of what
okay.
I'm saying.
All right.
It's not what I'm.
It's all good. I'll just watch what I say, keep it in, because there's no resolve. He's gonna think the way he thinks. It is what it is. It's been 25 years, so and I'm good. I'm good. I'll just watch what I say because there's no way around it.
You just like how we communicate makes the difference. We tell communication is everything. We tell everybody that.
I know life ain't always fun. What's her name? Franklin Apoodle. Yeah, that's not the reality though. You know, if we shucking and jiving and acting like everything's fun all the time, then we're not giving you the real, because this is real. So can't do that all the time. His perception is his reality. Exactly. Bye, lady. Yeah. So, the door is painted. It's outside. It's going to be in this living room. And we're, prayerfully we'll get it in about a week or two.
I guarantee you we'll have the threshold and the hinges before the end of the week.
You think so?
I know so.
Okay.
Watch. So, all of that said, go ahead. What's your...
No, I'm just saying, until we get it, that's when you'll make the appointment to get it installed. That's the issue, because it's like, if we knew we were getting the threshold and the hinges Thursday, we could have them installed maybe Friday or whatever. But we can't do it until it's actually here, because they can't put the door in with the threshold, because the lady was like, oh, just put the hinges. She was basically like, put the whole door in, like, I'm going to have a hole right here. They got to take down all this molding, take it, and then she was like, and then when it comes, take it all out. We're not doing that. That's a lot of work.
She was not saying that. She was just saying, can you install it, basically, and just change the threshold and change the hinges when the new parts come in.
Yeah, I'm saying, and because you can't, we would basically have to take it all out. It's not a situation where you can do that. So it would be a whole, plugging that thing back out. That is huge. Tone is everything. My tone didn't change. It was just like this. I was like, I'm a little
Read the whole
annoyed.
thing. You reading the part that you want to see. That's not the whole thing.
Not what's said, but what? But how it's said. Tone is everything. And again, my tone was just like this.
Okay. Um, any final thoughts? Final comments? We said we'd add somebody, so nobody said.
I didn't
add
see
me.
anybody that wanted to be added. Final thoughts. I just think that communication is the key, and right now we just have two sides of it. Right now, it's always one side, the other side, and then whatever the gray areas in the middle. And you just have to, absolutely, time is everything. Yeah, it's just like you just have to agree to disagree, but how do you go on from this? Yeah.
Are we wrapping up or?
I'm just trying to see if they had any questions. Yeah, I mean, we're going to go on, we're going to get the door, we're going to be fine, I can get ready to cook, and we're going to move on. That's all you can do.
All right, cool. All right, so that's this episode of effective communication in the Watkins household. But no, my thing is, I'm not holding no grudges. Life is too short. And if we have a disagreement, rather than holding it in, we could talk it out. So again, remember I said that rather than holding it all in, take a minute and talk it out. As far as I'm concerned, it's clear to me that I was right. So, we're good. So I know a lot of y'all didn't want to say Royale is right because y'all don't want to hurt April's feelings. But that's fine. You can inbox us. You can inbox me. But that's our Sunday conversation. I look forward to seeing y'all on another episode. It's going to be all love. And it's going to be what it's going to be. The door will be installed probably by the end of the week. And we'll put up a picture standing next to it, smiling like we always do. And life will continue. But
we've been together this long, Jesus.
Don't let poor communication be a cog in the wheel of progress in your marriage or your relationship. Talk it out rather than hold it in. So,
you're still Superman, Melissa Mark said. He is. He's always going to be Superman, but he needs.
I don't need to be Superman.
Lane.
I just, again, I just need clarity, and I don't need poor communication.
Said post this. Oh, it'll be posted. I mean, if y'all think this is bad, imagine what people are really going through. We arguing about a door and how I said something, So the takeaway from this is, we're a real couple going through real things. And every time we go on here, 90% of the time, it is fun and games. But we're also trying to show you that sometimes it's not fun and games. It's just not. It is normal, regular stuff. And it's how you get through it. If this, I don't know if y'all think this is funny or, I want to see y'all doing other things, but we're a relationship platform, and everything is not going to be kumbaya. So that's the way I feel, because I have no one to. You can get it, babe.
We should be wrapping it up.
Okay, I'll wrap it up. Let me just say this last part. Sorry, somebody. The tools to get through it, because we're in a pandemic. There are couples that are not making it. And yes, it may be over a door, and they are like, I'm out. So what I'm trying to say is, you got to figure it out. Does it feel good? Absolutely not. Like, I don't want to be arguing about a door, but it could be a door, it could be the kids, it could be anything. It's how you get through it. Me and Royale will be fine. We've been together 25 years, and it always hasn't been like this. We have broken up, made up, got back together. This is while we were dating. We have not broken up while we've been married. We have never left each other's home. We have never, and it's because you have to dig deep. I would rather go in the kitchen and get a butter knife than to have this conversation. I would rather gouge my eyes out because I'm tired. I don't want to talk about it. But if you don't talk about it, then it goes right under the rug. You sweep it under the rug, and that resentment builds up. And I don't want to be walking around here over a goddamn door with pent up emotions because we weren't grown enough to talk about it. So yeah, to some people it may seem like a door or whatever and it's stupid. It's not, because it's how you get through the little things, because guess what, big things could come. You know what I mean? So it's teaching our kids, it's healthy. We're not always around here laughing and joking. We have deep conversations. We don't agree. It's three of them against me, and I always say that. There's issues. Who's taking out the garbage? If I'm cooking, you should be doing this. And if I'm not cooking, then what are we having for dinner? Just help me figure it out. So there's always something to be said. Yes, Renee, exactly. Yeah, so grown folks conversations, yeah. It's not, we could do date nights on Friday. We can, but as things come up, and I think that it's just healthy. You know what I mean? Because when Tamika and I do our conversations on Thursday, we're more geared towards women. I shouldn't say that, but we understand how many couples are really not going to make it. And guess what? There are no couples giving you the real and having these conversations. So all you see is the happy side. We give you, and I always say that, we show you the happy, the sad, the in-between. I would rather get that than, oh, they always so happy. They always so cooking. And nobody wants to be in this place. But when we are, we're not afraid to show you. So it's dinner time. This guy is trying to come in with the door. So, you know what I mean? So, for the person like, I thought y'all was, and I'm really shocked at that, because that's not who we are. We're going to show you everything. So either you follow us or you don't, but we're not going to sugarcoat it, because there's people out there that need to see that they are not the only ones in their house trapped or whatever. I'm just using those words because we're in a pandemic, we're in shutdown, that are going through the silliness. Who didn't put the cereal away? And I done did it 10 times and I'm tired, and where's the paper towels? That shit, it's like, where's the paper towels 100 times? That 100 times you will snap. So talk about it before it gets too bad. And I'm going to continue to voice my opinion in the moment. I will take heed to what you're saying. Watch my tone. I'm not even going to discuss that. I will watch my tone. So my pledge to him and to you guys, I will watch my tone. I will think about it a little bit more, but we got to have a conversation, because I'm not going to sweep it under the rug and be salty all night because I don't want to have this. I don't want to have that discomfort. I don't want to argue. It may lead to an argument, but I think it's healthier because, like he said, he good and I'm good, because we done got it out. We done talked about it. And we've already hashed it. We good. We was talking earlier. It's just now we're rehashing it for the third time. That you be like, and that's right. And I said this and you said that. You know what I mean? So we're kind of reliving it. So that, it is what it is. So we're about to go roller skating. And it's all good. So we will see you, I think, Friday night. We're going to do like couples in conversations. We're trying to figure it out because of the pandemic and not having the cruise and not doing some things that we had planned on doing has set us back. We had a lot in the works, I promise you. And now we're here. So we're just trying to make it work while we're in this situation. So, okay. So I will see you probably tomorrow or so cooking or doing something in the kitchen. All right? Bye, guys.
After I do,